not so much dudes in jail are there. Have you checked out the facts? If my math is wrong, did you see if it was just a little bit wrong, or was I way off? Because I know the math. I was just a bit wrong. But my point still remains the same. There's not that great amount of dudes that's in jail. There's not a great amount of dudes that is crazy broke that just can't match up to the black woman. It's a damn shame that you just believe TV. You know, whatever happened to the common sense fact that TV may lie to you. TV has a vested interest to lie to you about a lot of things, especially when that TV is molding our society bit by bit. It gives us the norms. So if it gives us norms, the norms that they present may not always be true. You know, like how matter of fact, I'm not going to talk about how TV morphed rap music into, a Tribe Called Quest and Arrested Development. They right down even to cannabis and all that underground lyrical hip hop, like the late 90s, the early 2000s. They saw the direction of rap and where it was going and where it could possibly go, and they just said, "Nah, dumb that fucking shit down. Release the Eminem, make it crazy psychotic. Release that Young Jeezy, make it stupid. Pump up that 3-6, then make it so it's not a segment of rap, but this is the norm of rap. This is what rap dudes are, that stupid ass, thuggish ass, coon buffoonery, motherfucking zoot suit, Mantan, Marlin, all that step and fletch motherfucking shit from back in the day. They brought it back and put some baggy pants on it, and that's rap. That's hip hop. But I guess that's another aspect of the black man. It's wild how, think about this. Really think about this. What typical white person, what do you see? I just said white person. What is he wearing? How smart is he? Where does he live? He's just a white person. That's all I said was white person now. Think about it. Lives in the burbs. College educated, probably has him a wife. Couple kids. I don't think he's poor. Probably living pretty good. And I just said white person. I've met a lot of white people. This is not the norm. This is not true all the time. But that's the image presented. Now think about a Chinese person. Is he poor? Is he beating his wife? Are there problem niches in his community that's just overpowering, and the problem niches in his community is just the majority of it? Do you think of Chinese gangsters? When I think of an Asian person, I just said Asian person. Now think about this, man. You think that they own a store. Think that they're smart in math. Has a wife. Has some kids. His wife honors him. Just stuff I'm thinking about from Asian people. Middle Eastern. Even with the terroristic connotation we have in society, you might think he's a terrorist on some motherfucking racist shit, but he probably has a business, doesn't he? Do you think he's poor? Does he have a wife? Does he have a family? Where does he live? He lives in the burbs. He lives in the nice side of town. He's not living in the ghetto, not living in the trailer park, is he? Then you think a black person, huh? He's poor. She has a whole lot of kids. She neck rolls. That black man probably beats his black girlfriend. Crime surrounds the black man like bad odors follow around a bum. He's poor. You want a dick like the black man, but you don't want to live where he lives. You don't want to have his money. Is he at the top or bottom? And this is just black person. I just threw on black man because I'm black man personalizing this, but think about black person. That's black in the media, man. Now, that's just black person. No, I keep on saying black man. Think about where the black man stands in this, man. All that crime, all that, he's jailed, he's gay, he's not good enough for his black counterpart, man. That's a fucked up thing to live by. Now, think about, as a black person, where did you grow up? Did you have good schools or bad schools? I'm just talking about typically. What you know about America, people, black or white, listening. Did the black man have good schooling? No. Did he have a good household environment? No, no. And unfortunately, these stereotypes are true. The black man did not have good schooling. Because I remember my school, matter of fact, I remember in Richmond, Virginia, if you go to the county, it's like night and day. You go to the county schools, you have new books, you have new computers, you have new programs, you have teachers that actually give a damn. You go to the schools in Richmond. I remember when I went, and it was wild. I went literally from 9th grade to 10th grade. 9th grade, fucking county, 10th grade, Richmond City. And it was fucking sad, man. You know, I used all my 9th grade knowledge and schooling to coast on by 10th grade Richmond City. And it was disgusting because Richmond City, I remember my music teacher reeked of alcohol all the time. I was 16, man. They had security guards that didn't give a fuck, and there was a lot of them. And I remember that you could buy weed in school just by walking through the halls. They motherfucking advertise and shit like you're on the fucking, it's on the wire or something. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying that Plymouth Rock, I got that green. Got that chunky ass lime. Walking down the motherfucking hallways, man. I know your ass do that shit in fucking county. There's gonna be a fucking white officer to beat you upside the head, rough your ass up, throw you in the back, and then you don't go to that school anymore. You might make the news. Black student serving white kids in county. More at 11. Now, I'm talking about this because this affects the black man today. It's not an excuse. It's just hills that he has to overcome. Now, it kind of gets when I was calling stuck up racist motherfuckers, that just can't relate to poor people, especially poor black people. You just never saw poor, and you never saw impoverished, and you never really had to work too tough in your life. And when you did have to see work, it was just like through a distance meeting, like if they was working in your father's factory, or you worked at a summer job on your father's something or other, or your family something, and you can quit if you want to. It's not a big fucking deal. It's not rent and food hanging on the shit. You never really seen that type of life. These, I usually call them upper class neocon Republican motherfuckers. So black people, they should just pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and racism is such a non-issue nowadays. Herman Cain, turncoat motherfucker, fuck you. On behalf of all the black men that know what the fuck you are and what the fuck you represent and what you plan to do about the black plight in America. Fuck you. So when these neocon motherfuckers are talking about, there's not such a great disparity. We have a black president. Keep in mind that the black president had an Ivy League upbringing. He was raised around the finest of the finest school, to the point where it's like, he didn't have a black upbringing. Typically, he doesn't represent all black people in America. I don't know if people really know that about Barack Obama. When you see that black face on Barack Obama, he's not representative of the black plight, of the racism that was endured, or the troubles and tribulations and hardship. I mean, this motherfucker's rich. And he had money. He always had money. Think about this. This motherfucker's traveling to Indonesia, born an African prince, born in Hawaii, went to schools all around the world. You can't do that when you're dirt fucking poor. So when you see him up on that podium, when you see him up on the stage, and you say, oh, look how far black people have come. No. That's how far rich black people have come. The average person, the average black man, had to go through a whole lot. So when you see a rich black basketball star, ain't that fucked up? You know what I'm saying? You gotta come. That's black fame in America. You have to dribble a ball or write a goddamn rap to come up in America for them to put a spotlight on you. You can't just be a black CEO. You can't be a black businessman. It's not like they don't exist, but they're not highlighted in America. You don't see too much of the shows that highlight black people in that type of light. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. In the 80s, you had the Huxtables, and that was it. But look what the Huxtables bred. It bred the whole fucking family archetype for black people everywhere. Because I tell you this, every black man that I know and encounter is looking for their Claire. And all black women want a thugged out Cliff. He's a doctor in the day and shoots people at night. And plays dice and walks with a gun through the hood, getting the street cred up, smacking niggas with the burner, still could break down those degrees, son. Got a good pedigree, son. So smart, so thug. It's crazy, but that was the black image, the Claire and Cliff. All those kids, educated, doing well, going to Morehouse, going to Spelman, real world type of thing. And that was off of one popular show. But then you take off that popular show, and it's fucked up, but black people need to see that shit. I guess, it's not fucked up. All people need to see that shit because it's the great unifying binder of society, TV. It's what we all see. So when you see, booty, butt cheeks on BET and booty, butt cheeks on Sprite commercials and neck rolling and Maury Povich every goddamn day, it says something to the black man. I guess that's what I should be. Especially when, you didn't have good schooling and you live in the goddamn poorest part of town. You don't have too much archetypes for good. You don't have too much archetypes for smart to be that to be that pinnacle of success. All you got is thugged out motherfucking pimps, man. I'm talking about a 30-year-old person. After they took Cliff Huxtable off the air, man, I guess I want to be like Michael Jordan, says a 12-year-old. And then Michael Jordan is not getting as much pussy as Snoop Dogg, says the 12-year-old. And he grows up. Well, look at B.I.G. and Tupac. You 16 now. Man, they getting bras. Man, they getting all these, beautiful women. They have money, man. I don't have no goddamn money. I remember knowing distinctly when I'm 16 years old, I don't have no fucking money. And I got to do something about it. I want to be like somebody that has money. And luckily for me, I had an uncle that gave a damn that was kind of getting money. And he just showed me and my brother something a little different. But, if you didn't have that uncle, you was kind of struggling. You was kind of floundering. You was thinking, damn, man, I don't got to be too smart to get these girls. Girls don't want that anyway. Sling that dick. Write these rhymes. That's what they want. That's how I'm going to get rich. I can't really dribble the ball in particular. You know what I mean? Extrapolate that by 15 years, man. You got somebody 25 years old confused as a bitch. 30 years old confused as a bitch as to what success is, and now you get these groups of subpar males. Although they're getting money, but that may result. But they're doing a whole lot of manual labor, and that to me it's like that's like you're the last of the Pony Express. They haven't phased out your office yet, but it's a trend coming. That's what I see with all these like manual labor jobs and a lot of these industrial jobs. Right? Hell, even down trucking jobs, man. Men are making more than women, but women are doing educated jobs, and hey, that's cool, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. There's no but to that. Guys, man, you got to realize that these jobs are going to be phased out. When you think about it, in Virginia, it used to be very, distinguished to work for Philip Morris and all these tobacco companies and all these factory jobs. I know that when I left high school, you could just go right into a factory job that'll start paying you right. They had, good 401k plans, and they started, at least it was like $30,000 in the deep South when you're 18, 19 years old. And I've seen what that does to a 18, 19-year-old. $30,000 that ain't shit. Well, that ain't shit in New York. That's not shit in D.C. That's not shit. Maybe not in Houston or California, but if you think about the average rent in Central Virginia, let's say for 2-room in the county, it's like maybe $650, maybe $700. So when you make so you can do the math of $30,000, the whole cost of living thing. You're a grown ass person. You can figure it out. But $30,000 back there was pretty good. And then if you're going to be retained by that company for like maybe 10 years, like a lot of people were in like the past 20 years, that was just the trend. You were retained by the company. You wanted to be with these guys for life. They give you a fucking pen and a party, and they give you something cool and that's your life. You get little checks from now until you die, all 5 years of it, because you're old as shit. So, but Nowadays, if you think about this, man, they don't have too much of those factory jobs you just walk into on an entry level and then you just going to be retiring with these guys. There's a whole lot of phase outs, layoffs, and going overseas to solve their labor problems, man. Do you see this trend going up or down, black man? Black man. Do you see it going up or down? Is there more factory jobs now than there were 10 years ago or less? Are there more industrial jobs now than there were 10 years ago or less? How about 5, man? How about fucking 2, man? We got to get on board with this entrepreneurial thing, man. That's my thing. That's personal thing. I saw the forest of the trees, man. I don't like that shit, but y'all brothers, let's get on it. But if these jobs, that was, pretty much born and bred for, when you think about it, think about, the black people in general, man. After 400 years of, trying to kill the best and the brightest, you got some vein of the best and the brightest. There's a lot of smart black people around here. I'm not going to say, they are the minority, but then again, if you think about, smart white people compared to smart, dumb white people, they're not the majority either. Matter of fact, if you're smart and you walk in the world and you have, some moniker intelligence, you notice that the stupids run the shit. You're going to encounter a whole lot more of the stupid clan than you encounter more of the smart. So, you have a whole lot of stupid motherfuckers in society, and we've been kind of bred to be, the inferior worker class after 400 years of strong backing, and kill the smart. You have a lot of the dumb, a lot of the less than subpar average you motherfuckers out there. Then you give them bad schools, you put them in a poor district, and in Virginia they separate, the jobs that are worth a damn from the ghetto. So you have to do a real hike, and it's going to be a real ordeal if you don't have a car. And in Virginia, you don't have a car, you're fucked. And the bus line ain't going to take you where you need to go for these jobs. So they have all these little obstacles that you just find just trying to, grow up and do decently in at least, Central VA. If you extrapolate this to your town, man, it's not an isolated incident, man. I've been to other towns, man. We go to the railroad tracks, that part of town where the black side is, It's not a coincidence. And right by the railroad tracks ain't where the jobs are. That's not a coincidence either, man. And I've traveled like 20 states, man. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, you have all this, and, you don't realize that the black man is going to be, affected by this. The black woman is going to be affected by this. The black people is going to be affected by this. Again, ain't excuses. White person listening, not everybody black will be listening. Ain't excuses. I'm just trying to, bring it's like when you watch some shit on, I guess, Middle Eastern people, and you see like how the Palestinians are have a real rugged lifestyle, and how their lifestyle came to be that rugged. Just get some empathy for a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I've been to towns where they just haven't seen black people, where they just, all they see of black people is what they see on TV, and I swear to God, man, they treated me like an odd ass animal. They weren't scared, but they just look at me like I was a new zebra in town into the herd of stallions. I wasn't weaker or was lagging in any capacity, but goddamn it, them stripes, they're just so bright. If you get what I mean. But I'm gonna wrap this up. Black Man Chronicles Part 2. Race in America, the background, at least how I see it, and how it may affect the present. Again, not an excuse. Just what you got to go through as a black man in America, and to a certain degree, a black woman in America. It's what it is. I'm gone.